Hi, another video from Emily's Visions. I've just come in from the garden and I feel like I've got a slight aura, so I thought, although I don't feel like great, I want to get a video done today, so I thought I'd do this now, and then now, otherwise I may well have a seizure and then the whole day is blown, but at least I'll know I've done this. So today I just wanted to talk about Madonna or whore. um, so this concept, I don't know whether unless in case you haven't heard of the concept, it's a sort of tale of, you know, an idea of that a man might get of you as a woman. In a sort of quick assessment of you. So he either sort of pigeonholes, because women often get pigeonholed based on our roles, and they could be a role that they're already performing, or it could be a role that this person would like them to perform. And the idea is that pigeonholing tends to be extreme. So when somebody does it, they either cast a woman as a Madonna or a whore. And they say that the benefits of being labelled as cast as Madonna is that you get high status, and you're always looked up to, and maybe appreciated, maybe not on the level that you would like to be, or in the way that you want to be, but you know, you're pretty much safe. You're kind of cast as a sort of generic mother figure for them, and so your role is to be a kind, caring person, and nothing really sexy is going to happen. Which, if you're dating somebody, in this case, if you're dating somebody, that's awful, because it means that you're not going to be able to explore a sexual relationship with that person, or even if you do, you'll be cast as this kind of shining goddess on a huge tower, and that won't necessarily reflect who you are in your reality. And on the other side, you have being cast as the whore, and the whore is perfectly sexually liberated, but isn't really judged to be of much worth. So you may find, they say, if you're cast as the whore, you know, it might be great to begin with, but after a while, you know, there's certain things they won't share with you, or expect from you, and when you want to, in either of these cases, if you want to actually, in an established relationship, break out of the pattern, it will be quite hard because you've been cast in either of those roles. So I just wanted to talk about that today, because I think that women very often get pigeonholed. We have people have very strong ideas of what a woman is and what a woman isn't, very often projecting that on women without asking them as individuals what they think a woman is, or what kind of woman they would like to be. So I just wanted to draw attention to that, really. If you're cast in the Madonna role, people will expect you to always be loving and caring, and you may get respect, but publicly you'll have to care equally for everyone and for all causes and conditions. And I see that when women are interviewed, very often an interviewer will say, "Oh yes, but have you considered this aspect?" And it may not be something that the woman is interested in at all. She's not actually talking about that. And the other thing is, of course, as a Madonna, you're a perfect being, and so from that perspective, you know, what happens when you have a bad day? Those people won't want to see your bad days, which is a bit much, because as a woman, you know, we all started, like, we started bleeding, for example, and being smelly and moody from an early age, at a time when our male peers were discovering sex as recreation. So we're not clean from that perspective. You know, we've got lots of things going for us. We're organic beings. We can create life. So there's nothing perfect. Is it being put on a pedestal, particularly if it's a pedestal that's been created by somebody else, is not really a great experience. It's not a great experience. So conversely, if you're being cast as a whore, or if you choose not to be cast as a Madonna, so then you start speaking out and you start speaking your truth and you talk about things that people might not want to hear about, you get cast the other way, and you find that people will dismiss you from society. They're not interested. You won't be invited to the right kind of parties because people will worry about you opening your mouth and saying the wrong thing. But the upside to that is that, you know, you can be an individual. So I just wanted to bring that to light today. I mean, I think I personally think the whores have more fun. Not, you know, not actual whores, but well, male whores too, maybe, because they're in a more fluid situation. If you choose to be an outcast, at least you can then decide for yourself what labels you're going to take on. But still, it's hard to be. And I find it hard. I find it hard watching women who have been cast into those roles, particularly when I have to look after them, and they, for example, want to be sex positive, and they want to be realistic about the fact that they are an organic woman with, you know, ups and downs like all women. And they want to join up with their sisters too. They don't want to be put in an extreme. So I think it's important to recognise that women are complex beings. You know, human beings are complex. So I think we should be aware of when we're being pigeonholed and and just sort of push against those swift judgments, because then we can have relationships that develop gradually. And we can be organic beings, because I think as a woman I've found that life is messy, and I think that there's joy in embracing that, and joy in embracing not having to maintain a pedestal that may have been created by somebody else, or feeling down about yourself because people say, oh, you don't fit in, you know, you're not the kind of woman that we want. Yeah, so I just wanted to talk about that today, and a bit of a ramble probably because again, I'm not feeling very well, but I did quite a bit of bramble clearance done today, so yay me. Yeah. Nice to speak to you, and yeah, I'm going to keep on coming back and talking about things that have occurred to me. Feel free to comment below if you've been affected by any pigeonholing, you know, or people having an idea of you, and actually you may even discover that the pedestal that you built up, it might have suited you, but it was created by yourself and it's too static. You may find that the roles that you've created for yourself have become too static, and as you grow and evolve, you want to try other things. And so yeah, feel free to comment if you've experienced that sort of thing, and also please subscribe, and also please visit my Patreon page below. I'm really appreciating your support, and it's helping me to have confidence that, again, I don't have to be either one way or the other to be acceptable. I can be somebody in the middle, experiencing life as it evolves. So, yeah, thanks. Bye.